As we go down and get a state map down at the recording, and we would look up to see where all the old houses were. And in doing that, the houses are long gone by now. But when you fly over them and look down, you can see the outline either of some trees or an old foundation or some kind of a driveway or something. And then we use that then as markers on where to go and how to dig up coins and look for coins. We went down to Woodland, and I found probably about 3 silver dimes and 1 barber dime, I think it was. So we had success there, and it was just a lot of fun. What we're doing is not only the love of flying, but the love of metal detecting, and it gives me an opportunity to do both of them at the same time.
Our next treasure hunter is Jim Roper of Medford, Oregon. Over the past 30 years, he's found more than 175,000 coins, and there's no end in sight.
We have 7 children, and I wanted to devise activities that I could do with them together. And this turned out to be a good choice. I found about $8,000 so far. Well, it doesn't work out on an hourly basis. But you do come home with something each time. Usually a pocket full of change. In some cases, it could be $10 or $20, depending upon how lucky you are that day. But it's enough to keep me interested and keep me going. It's a penny, and you can't find any trace of my recovering it. Metal detecting is something that really isn't for everybody. It requires a great deal of patience and perseverance, and a lot of people really don't have that much. They're not cut out for it. The idea is to keep your search coil low and parallel to the ground, and not to swing happy faces like this, because here you're way above the ground. Keep the search coil parallel to the ground and low, not too fast. A lot of people are even more impatient than I am, and they hunt in a random pattern here and there and everywhere. I don't do that. If I have an area which I feel is good, like a soccer field, I hunt it just like you would mow the grass. Back and forth, back and forth. I essentially hunt the whole field. I'm not saying I find all the coins, but I find many, many, many times more than you would going at random like a drunken sailor. So that's my secret to success.
When we return, Jim Roper will share some humorous stories while hunting and show us some of his best finds. Over the years, Jim has been approached and asked some pretty humorous questions about metal detecting.
Hunting on the Oregon coast, I was accosted by a young boy who said, "Will that thing find clams?" I was laughing so hard I couldn't answer. I've had people come up to me and put coins in my coin apron because I was the poor, destitute man that has to earn his dinner picking up coins out of the grass. You never know what they'll ask next. The dumbest thing they ask is, am I finding anything? Because metal detectors are designed to find metal, and the ground is full of metal, and you will always find something every time you turn it on. The intelligent question would be, have you found anything good? This is called a Morgan dollar. I found this at a high school on a baseball field right under shortstop. This is a peace dollar. I found this in a schoolyard. And this one's very interesting because it looks just like a silver dollar. It's the same size, it's 90% silver, but it's a 1935 coin from Cuba, 1 peso. And then this one over here is called a barber half. And I found this in a remote town in Northern California in a city park. Having hunted in more than 33 states, Jim is always ready for an adventure.
even if it means hunting in his neighbor's backyard.
When we go to visit friends, I ask them if I can hunt their yard, and they say, oh, sure. And I take advantage of that, and oftentimes find silver coins doing it. People are very interested to see what you find. I went to a friend's house and I found about 6 sets of keys. He told me that nobody else had lived in that house besides him, and he doesn't remember ever losing any keys.
Jim's greatest pleasure in this hobby is getting a lot of exercise in the outdoors.
My wife accuses me of not exercising when I'm metal detecting, but on one occasion, I found 839 coins in one day. That was 839 deep knee bends in one day. I was over 65 years old at the time, and I guarantee that was exercise.
Before he goes on that last hunt, Jim Roper has some big goals. He wants to find more than 200,000 coins and also strike gold.
Gold is usually hard to detect, and small gold coins can be misidentified as trash many times and not retrieved. But I would be very happy to find a real gold coin. How about a double eagle? $20 gold piece. That would be the ultimate for me. Or half a dozen of them.
Jim's greatest hopes and dreams are that the treasure hunting myths are spread far and wide.
Myth number 1, that nobody loses anything. Myth number 2, that if they did lose it, there's no way you could find it. And I'm hoping that those 2 myths can be perpetuated. And in addition to that, I hope that the schools get more money for more upside-down bars.
Scott Seville was born to find treasure. He began coin collecting as a boy and now hunts all over the Pacific Northwest. His hobbies of coin collecting and metal detecting go hand in hand, and he's constantly on the lookout for new places to hunt.
I got started metal detecting as a kid. My parents, they were into antiques, and we lived in northwestern Montana. We were surrounded by history, and I took an interest to coins. And there are no coin shops in Montana. So I ended up purchasing a metal detector on the ground. It turned out to be a great place to metal detect. You could just see Western cowboys there if you just look close enough. And being surrounded by that kind of environment, it is pretty easy to stay interested in your past. You can call it treasure hunt.